But I want to bring you a story out of Normandy right now, very disturbing development. The French President François Hollande says a deadly terror attack on a church was carried out in the name of ISIS. Our international correspondent Phil Black is on the scene for us. Phil, take us through the sequence of events. Tell us what happened.
So, Wolf, it was early this morning local time. The morning mass in this church, only a few blocks from where I'm starting, was underway when two men walked into the church with knives. And what we've heard from witnesses is that they carried in knives, they were videoing themselves, they were talking in Arabic. In the words of a nun who was in there at the time, she says the men performed some sort of sermon around the altar of the church. And then they took a priest, 86-year-old Jacques Amal, forced him to his knees and cut his throat. He died. Another person there was injured with life-threatening injuries, we are told. A bunch of other hostages were freed, and that was because the police arrived relatively quickly, confronted these men outside the church, and these two attackers, they were shot and they were killed. And so now the authorities are working to investigate precisely who they were, why they did this, why they selected this church, and they know at least one of them. Authorities have told CNN that one of the men is known to have tried to travel to Syria twice. On one of those occasions, he got to Turkey, at least one of those occasions, was intercepted by authorities there, sent back to France, spent some time in jail, was released earlier this year, but ordered to wear an electronic tracking bracelet. Now, we don't know if he was still wearing it, if he was wearing it at the time of the attack, but all of these, no doubt, very important questions for the investigation, which is now underway here in a country that has been shocked yet again by another deadly attack by small committed group of people using pretty primitive means, and in a country where the government is under real pressure to stop these attacks from taking place. Wolf.
Phil, what's been the reaction from the Vatican?
Well, it is with great sorrow, great outrage, really. We know that the French President François Hollande has spoken by phone to the Pope today. Both men have expressed their condolences, to some degree their anger as well, I think. Not just that, yes, another attack in France, but one like this that has been so violent and that has taken place in such a sacred place as well. So the Vatican and indeed the Catholic community of France are asking for prayers for people to try and prevent further hatred and violence. François Hollande is saying this is a war with Islamic radicals, that France must not be divided, and it is a war they must win. Wolf.
Phil Black reporting for us from France, a horrific terror attack. Thank you very much for that report. That's it for me. I'll be back 5 p.m. Eastern.